Hello everyone, this is Global Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Today I'd like to show you how to make a cape coat without a pattern. There is a great variety of cape coats. I'm going to make one of them. Have a look at the sketch. The coat is going to be oversized. I'm going to extend the width of it by 20 centimeters on each side. You can make it as wide as you want. We need to use the measurement which is bigger. If your hips are bigger than the bust, take the hips measurement, and vice versa. In my case, I'm going to use the bust measurement. It's bigger than my hips. I also need to know the length of the back. The width of this piece of fabric is 150 centimeters. The sleeves are going to be long. Probably I will even have to cut them. After watching these videos, you will be able to make a cape coat without any problems. I want you to be creative. You can change the design however you want. I'm going to make a V-neck, and you can make it round. Or you can make a stand collar and a zipper. You can extend the sleeves so that they reach the bottom. It would also look very beautiful. What is important is that the coat should be oversized. Such garments are in trend now. I want to be stylish. That's why I've decided to make this cape coat. It is going to be edged with the bias binding. This is not a garment for some special occasion. It is suitable for going for a walk, or putting it on when taking a trip to a countryside. I'm not going to use any complicated techniques. So the bias binding will be enough for edging the garment. It is going to be pretty casual. My bust measurement is 114 centimeters, so the half of the measurement is 57 centimeters. I'll write it down. The length of the back is 40 centimeters. To be exact, it's 41. But we can use the approximate figures. You'll understand why we need this measurement. In this video, I'll show you how to make a pattern and how to cut the garment. In the next video, I'll show you the taking and the first fitting. I'd like to tell you about the different designs of cape coats. You can make them with the hoods or without them. You can combine a cape coat with a scarf made of the same fabric. It would look unusual and emphasize the fact that the coat is oversized. Or you can combine it with something else. You can make pin tucks on the bottom. It would also look beautiful. In this case, it would be of an interesting form. I hope that you like this idea. Let's get down to work. Have a close look at the fabric. I need to draw a mark here. It marks the 7th neck bone. Next, I need to measure and mark 40 centimeters down from this point. Notice that I'm not using a ruler. I need to draw a line here. This is the waistline. The length of the cape coat on the back will be 103 centimeters. I need to measure and mark this measurement as well. I would like to make an overcast at the bottom. I will probably have to edge the front with the facing. But the bottom should be overcast. It will make the garment stronger. 8 centimeters would be enough for an overcast. The length of the garment from the 7th neck bone to the bottom is 103 centimeters, and I also need to add 8 centimeters for an overcast. I need to draw a bottom line here. This line should be straight. Next, I need to draw this line. Have a close look at the sketch once again. A quarter of my bust measurement is 28 centimeters. I need to measure and mark this distance here, and then extend it by 18 centimeters. I'm going to make a very loose, oversized cape coat. 18 centimeters would be enough. I remind you that I'm drawing the side seam now. Such oversized coats are in trend now. I need to draw a line parallel to the fold. Well done. The width of the back neckline is 8 centimeters. And it should also be 3 or 3.5 centimeters high. I can draw the back neckline now. I would like you to understand that you should not waste time thinking too much. This is a simple 3-piece garment. The back is going to be one piece, and the front will be made of the 2 details. This is the shoulder top. Next, I need to draw a shoulder seam. It will be combined with the sleeve. This line should be slightly biased. You can change the slope of the line. Draw it however you want. In my case, the slope will be 8 centimeters. I've measured and marked 8 centimeters, so now I can draw the line. I recommend you making the shoulder seams. Have a look at the bottom once again. It's placed 8 centimeters below this line. I need to measure and mark 35 centimeters up from the bottom. This is the point I'm trying to draw. This is where the sleeve should end. Next, I need to connect these points with a beautiful smooth line. That's it. The pattern is ready. It took me about 5 minutes to make it. This is the pattern for the back. Next, I need to make a pattern for the front. Have a look at the sketch once again. Let's repeat everything once again. I took my biggest measurement and added 18 centimeters to it. You can extend it even more, it's up to you. I'd like to make the garment oversized. I've drawn the bottom line and extended the length to make the overcast. The back neckline is 8 centimeters wide and 3.5 centimeters high. I've also drawn the shoulder slope combined with the sleeve. I also defined the point of the end of the sleeve. It's placed 35 centimeters above the bottom. I can start cutting now. There will be no seam allowance on the neckline, because I've taken it into consideration when drawing the neckline. But I need to add some for the seam allowance for the shoulders. The bottom will be edged with an overcast. There is actually no need to add the seam allowance for the side seams. As I've said, you can extend the sleeves to the bottom and then make the side seams. It would also look very nice. Try making large sleeves. They would look very unusual. This line should run 5 or 6 centimeters above the waistline. I'm going to stitch the details on this line. Have a look at the sketch. This is where this line is. I've extended it for 10 centimeters above the waistline. This is where the side seam will be placed. The back is ready. Let's move on to working with the front. This piece of fabric is 3 meters long. I'm going to put the front on the other end of it to save this long piece for making a scarf. I don't recommend you wasting the fabric. It's always better to have an extra piece of it. I put the back on the fabric. And I need to mark 2 centimeters above the shoulder top. Do not forget about the balance extension, it's very important. Connect this point with the sleeve. I've raised the shoulder top for 2 centimeters. Next, I need to measure and mark 8 centimeters down from this point. This is the neck base. Next, I need to measure and mark 25 centimeters down from this point. To draw the neckline. I'll change it a bit. The front neckline will be pretty deep. I need to cut the neckline. Have a look at what I'm doing. This is the center front. Do not forget to add 1 centimeter for the seam allowance here. I can cut it as well. After watching this video, you will be able to cut a similar coat in just 10 minutes. To make such coat, you need to use any fabric you like and the bias binding. Well done. The rest of the details should be cut according to the back. The front and the back differ by the shoulder slope and the neckline. The shoulder top is higher on the front. The other details match. Be very careful and attentive. It's better to use sharp scissors when cutting the strong fabrics. It's pretty hard to cut the selvage. You can see that even though the scissors I'm using are sharp, it's pretty hard to cut the fabric I'm working with. You can see that there is a pretty big piece of fabric left. I will be able to make a scarf of it. Well done. You can make a cape coat with a stand collar. You can make it with a hood. Combine a collar with a bow. Use your imagination. You can change the design however you like. I can move this piece of fabric aside. Let's have a look at the cut details. Have a look here. I need to make a notch here. The lower part of the side seam will be stitched from the wrong side and the upper part from the right side. Do not make too big notches. The back and the front details are ready. Put the details on the edge of the table to check if they are accurate. If there was a fold here, the coat will be one piece. As for me, I prefer making shoulder seams. I'm ready for taking. I'll show it to you in the next video. Do not be afraid of unusual garments. As I've said, oversized clothes are in trend now. I don't really like them, but why not have one oversized fashionable garment? It will refresh my wardrobe. That's all for today. Be different and beautiful. My name is Irina Paukshte. Buy my courses, subscribe to my channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.